Good morning. Good morning. Say what? Good morning. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Oh, there's my clicker. Okay. I'm Dr. V. Everybody call me Luis. You can call me Luis. Okay, or Dr. V. So I'm going to talk to you about money and how you understand your funding, okay? So here we go. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, what would I know about that? I'm a psychologist. So I study people's behavior. I study your behavior and how you spend your money. I study your behavior and what you think is important for you to spend your money on. I also study behaviors to take a look as what are you doing and how do you make your decisions and how that relates to what you're going to do next. Got it? That's my job. I'm not an engineer. I help you become one. I had to be nice to y'all. Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to present funding sources, budgeting basics, and so forth. Oh, do I need to stand in a certain place? And you can hear me good? Okay, because I couldn't hear myself. That's why I'm talking louder. Wow. Man, technology, man, does it all the time. Okay, here we go. I want you to know about your learning. I want you to know about your funding sources, your strategic managing. Yes, sir. There's handouts coming around. Okay. Okay, the handouts say step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You should have one of each. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You ready? Say it with me. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So do you have a paper that says step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4? How many do? Raise your hand. Oh, we're on the same page finally. You got all 4 steps? All right. Now we're okay. Now let's get going. Are you ready now? Yes. Okay, now we're ready. Okay. My job is to make sure you reduce your student debt and hopefully your loan debt, and hopefully you don't have any loan debt. Okay? Limited ability to get loans. I want to limit that. Because the last thing you need, I have friends that graduated from college and they owe over $200,000. The highest majors that do not pay back their loans, guess which ones they are? No, medical doctors and lawyers. They don't like to pay back their loans. And the lawyers tie up the system in court so they don't have to pay their loans. That's a true story. Look it up. Okay. Funding is prestigious and looks good on a resume. You know what that means? If you get a fellowship or a scholarship or a grant and you put on your resume, Luis Vázquez achieved this prestigious presidential fellowship in the area of research and technological studies. Oh man, when somebody sees that, when I see that on a resume, I go, whoa, man, okay. I got a smart one here, all right. Connection to faculty and mentors. You see the faculty around you? Okay. If they have funding and they can help you and you connect with them, oh my God, they're going to be the people to write you the references. And they're going to be the people to say, this student's great, this student walks on water, this student can split the sea, and instead of going on vacation, during their vacation time, spring break, they went on what? Staycations. That means you stayed at home and studied. Can you say that, staycation? Staycation. You don't want to say staycation? You will when you're broke. Let me tell you. Critical faculty, advising, and projects. Okay, so let's take now this data, I looked it up again, and it's still the same as 2012, so I decided, let me keep it the same here. So, at the night, 1 in 10 people right now are going to have a loan debt of $153,000. 1 in 10. That's more than a lot of people's houses cost. And that's just graduating. Can you imagine? 1 in 10. 1 in 4 are going to owe $100,000. The average amount that people owe is $57,600. And that's gone up to almost $60,000 now. How much are you going to owe? Zero. You're going to try to go for 0. You're trying to get that baby down. So, federal loans. By the way, when you have loans, subsidized and unsubsidized. How many of you know what subsidized loan is? Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear, tell me.
I'm here to learn.
That's right. Go ahead.
It's a loan you get from the school, and you don't have to pay it back
until you graduate. Yes, and your interest is usually covered until you get out. Okay, what's an unsubsidized loan? Yeah, that's right. Collects interest, and they charge you. So all of a sudden you get your financial aid check. Go, whoa, what happened here? I lost $300. Interest. They take it out. Parent Plus. You know what that means? Your parents co-sign for you. So you know what happens when you don't pay that back? They call your parent. You owe us money. And I don't know about you, but my dad, if I would have done that, oh my God. So here we go. So this is the kind of overall debt in billions for graduate education. Okay, and this is billions. Private loans, about $1.10 billion that we take out in loans. But look at the unsubsidized. Okay, remember that's one I told you that you had to pay the interest and so forth as you go along. Okay, $15 billion that we're spending in this country on that. $15 billion. What do you think of that so far? Not good, folks. So, now let's take a look to see who has the most debt. Are you ready? White students, look at that. Doctoral, 38% in debt for loans, and 41% for the master's degree. Latino students, Hispanic, 41%, 58% for the master's degree. African American, black students, 62% for doctoral, 68% master's. And of course, Asians, 19% and 35%. They spend the least. Who spends the most? Who takes out the most loans? Yeah, and who's second? And close by? The Latinos, Hispanics, and then you get up to white. So guess what? The two biggest groups that take out the most money are African Americans and Latinos. What do you think of that? So, for master's degree students, okay, 42% had no debt. So what percent do you want to be part of? 42%. And that's for the master's. And doctorate, 45% have no debt. What percent do you want to be a part of? 45%. The 45%. Because you do not want to be the $80,000 or more, which is 13% for doctoral students and 2% for the master's. You do not want to be the $60,000 to $79,000. That's 11%. 21% over here. So as you can see, the 20,000 and the 60,000 seem to be the highest for the masters. You do not want to be in those percentages, if at all. And you have to. You want to be in the less than 20 grand or not at all. Because how much does a new car cost you? How much the average? If you're going to get a decent car, how much it costs you? I'm not talking about no Beamer. I'm talking about something that a Hyundai. Let's go Hyundai. Okay? Let's go Kia. 15 to 20,000. And how long do you have that loan to pay off that 15, 20,000? 5 years. So just imagine, as you graduate, you could probably pay back your loan in 5 years. And what's the difference? Car gets depreciation. By the time you pay it off, you pay 20 for it, it's worth 5. By the time you pay off your master's degree or your doctorate, if you pay 20 for it, what's it worth when you graduate? It's forever. It is forever. It's right here, and you can use it out here. That's the difference. Okay, education related for doctoral recipients. Again, where do you want to be? 52.3%? Yes, no debt. As you can see, it's the same song over and over and over again. So, let's talk about the different types of funding, okay? Let's talk about research and training, scholarships, fellowships, teaching assistantships, okay? Let's talk about those things. Here we go. Research and training grants. They are gifts. Do you pay those back? No. Of course you don't. That's nice money. But what do they expect for you in return? Well, yeah, maintain your grades, right? What else? What? Yes, you're working with the faculty. So you're doing, how many of you have an excellent work ethic? Everybody's hand better go up on this one. Okay, I see some hands that did not go up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in faculty too. Okay. See, these are gifts. These are research and training guides. They're like gifts. You don't pay them back, but you get opportunities to do things with people that you never thought you would. I got to work with Dr. Ursula Delworth, the #1 in the country for psychologists, 5'3" Irish Catholic woman. She ran me into the ground doing research and doing stuff with her, but I learned so much. And so what did I do? I paid it forward. And that's what I started doing. You're going to have to keep up your grades, and you're going to have to do what you're supposed to do. But you don't pay back. Everybody say that with me. We don't pay back. How do you pay? You pay forward. Oh man, you missed the second half. I was hoping you'd get that on your own. You don't pay back, you pay forward. There you go, you pay forward. Okay, in graduate school, grants can be used towards travel, research, and so forth. Scholarships. You do not pay back scholarships either. You remember those words, grant, scholarship, no payback, work hard, work ethic, good grades, going forward, making it happen. That's how you have to think, okay? Because see, when I grew up, okay, my father went up to 7th grade, my mother went up to 4th grade. That's it. My mother didn't know how to read and write. She only spoke Spanish. They both did. I have 6 younger brothers, 2 older sisters. We grew up in a 2-bedroom house. How much financial aid do you think my parents could support me with?
Zero.
Oh yeah, they did. They gave me all the love and spirit and moral that I needed to say, go for it. That's right. Oh, you mean financial? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I got confused because to me, the other part's just as valuable, if not more. Okay. I used to call, when I was starving, I'd say, and they would call, how you doing, Luis? I go, man, you know, they only spoke Spanish, but I'm going to do it to you in English, and everybody in here is bilingual. They go, oh, how you doing? He's like, you know, I'm doing great, Dan. I'm going to hang up. Oh, they got nothing to eat, baby. Because I had pride, and I was hurting. But I made it okay. For a whole month, I ate peanut butter and jelly, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And now I look at peanut butter sandwich, oh, me da asco. I mean, I just, you know. But yeah, but I survived until I got my first paycheck, okay? So, scholarships, you got to get scholarships. You don't pay those backs. Okay, scholarships vary in their amount and number. Sometimes you get them for a year, sometimes you get them for 2 years, sometimes you got to apply every year. You got to stay on top of those things, folks. You do not let these things go by. And you apply for everything. Do the paperwork. I always get students, okay, I got these 15 areas that you need to apply, you know, to get scholarship and grant. You know, guess what the students tell me? We can't do that paperwork. Oh my God. But you know what? When they get one of them and they get $20,000, $30,000 back, they go, wow, Dr. V, man, check this out. I'm getting a check for 50 grand here to go to be here in graduate school. Then they're smiling. And how long did they spend to do the paperwork? Half hour. Who in the heck works for half hour and gets back 50 grand? Or how many papers you fill out for a half hour and you get 20 grand, 15 grand, 10 grand, 5 grand? Take the time, folks. Take the time. Okay. Scholarships can be awarded through your school or through private sources. I got one from the Hispanic Ford Foundation, and they paid all my tuition for the year, but it was only one. And then I read the fine print, and it says you can only be awarded one time, 1 year, that's it. Thank God I read that, because then I started applying for everything else too. Okay, there are generally 3 types of fellowships. Recruitment. By the way, recruitment fellowships, that means we want you. We got to have you. You're the kind of student we want in our university. You're the one that's going to help us change the world. You're the one that we need to be here and go forward. But we're only going to give you a fellowship for 1 year. That's called recruitment fellowship. We're going to take care of you for 1 year. So what do you need to do?
Apply for more.
Apply for more, and you need to find out what other types of funding, what are other types of funding within the university I can apply for? How do I apply for them? Who do I need to talk to? When do I need to talk to them? How do I put this together? When do I put it together? So, special needs. You know what special needs are? We need a budget. Okay, like for instance, right now there's a lot of money going out for STEM fields. You know what STEM is, right? You better know what STEM is.
Technology, engineering. Right?
Yeah. And STEM H, what's H? Health, very good. Oh my God. Okay, I have a very intelligent group here. I'm happy here. I'm happy. Okay, so there'll be monies. They'll say we need some more scientists, or we need some more technologists, or we need some more engineers. So we're going to set aside $50 million for this year to bring in at least 100 students through scholarships and so forth, and fellowships to make sure that we can pay them to be here. Those are nice. But again, what do you need to find out? How long are they? How long are they? Okay, fellowships. Granted to graduate and postgraduate students, awarded by private organizations. You can get a stipend for 1 to 4 years. But by the way, if you get a fellowship, what's the other question that you need to ask? Does it cover my tuition?
Oh.
Does it cover my tuition? Some universities will give you tuition waiver. What this means is you might get $20,000, $30,000, and then they say, but the out-of-state tuition is what? $35,000, $20,000, $15,000, depending where you go to school. You go to public school, it's usually cheaper. You go to private school, it's usually more. If you're going to go to Stanford, Berkeley, Harvard, MIT, Princeton, am I missing? Stanford? No, I already said Stanford, huh? Yale. Okay, I went to Big Ten. Many of your colleagues here went to all over. And guess what? Here we are with you. Here we are with you. So you have to see. Oh, and Yale. Yeah, you're right. How many know about the Gates Millennium Scholarship? Okay. Yeah. What's it called?
I said I've heard of it.
Yeah. Well, if you ever apply for one of those things pay for your bachelor's, your master's, and your doctorate straight through, tuition and everything.
Can you repeat that louder? Yeah.
Gates Millennium. Gates Millennium Scholarship. Ask your people about that. They should know about that. But usually they start them out in high school. But now they're making some variations to it, so you can get it a little. Some can go from the bachelor's on. Okay, so you got to check. Because they change the rules on these things. Okay, but the ones that got it for the bachelor's, I ended up sending 2 students after they graduated from us. I sent one to Stanford, I sent one to Harvard, and one to UC Davis, and then they all came back to us to get a doctorate from us later. And it was all paid. Okay, the Hispanic Ford Foundation grant, that's another one. Nobody applies for those. Many times these organizations, the money sits, nobody applies for them, so they have them for next year. Because we won't spend how much time to fill out the paperwork?
30 minutes.
About 30 minutes to fill it out, and we won't do it. Okay, teaching assistantships. I love this. You know what you get to do with this? You get to be in front of a classroom, just like yourselves, and you get to teach. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You finally get to tell undergraduates what you thought when you used to be an undergraduate. Sometimes you need to grade papers. Sometimes you need to teach. Sometimes you run laboratories. Sometimes you make sure that everybody learns what they're supposed to learn. Okay, and that's what teaching assistantship and graduate assistantships too. By the way, most of them on our campus we pay $7,500, just like it says there, and $20,000 for the year. That's for 20 hours of work a week. Now, in my day, we didn't have a union or anything, okay? There's no such thing for graduate students. Is there? Or do some places have unions for graduate students? They don't have it, right? Okay, in my day, when I got my 20 hours a week, I really ended up working 40 to 50. I'm not going to lie. You're not supposed to do that, okay? I don't do that to my students. I say 20 hours, okay? But you end up working with a professor. You end up helping them grade papers. You end up being in the lab. You're making sure the students don't burn themselves in the lab. Last year, I had a student that didn't follow the rules, and they're using a laser within the lab. And they burned part of their retina because they weren't wearing the goggles. Okay. Or I have students just like yourselves. They want to go work in the chem lab, and they walk in with flip flops, and one of them dropped acid on their toe. Yes, and I had to go and we had to fill out all this paperwork, and the legal had to be involved, and workman's comp and all that. So see, when you end up working in labs and so forth, and you're the one in charge as the research assistant or the graduate assistant, you oversee all those things. So you have a lot of responsibility. Teaching assistantships can vary. You run labs and so forth. Graduate assistantships. Why become a research assistant? Do you know why? You know why? Why become a research assistant? I know you're meditating in the clouds and it. But you didn't think I was going to bust you, huh? Why become a research assistant? You have great professors here. Why would you want to work for them? What's the benefit?
Gain experience and knowledge.
Gain experience and knowledge of doing what? Changing the world. Doing research for a greater good. No, you're going to in there and do experiments with them. You're going to do all kinds of research. Like here they have the Mid-America Transportation Center. You get to see how people's behaviors react behind the wheel, the car lights and so forth. And you can manipulate those things to see, and you can intervene to try to prevent accidents. All kinds of types of research. This is where it's great. And by the way, it benefits the faculty. And if you're really good at it, guess what happens? Guess who writes you the reference? All these professors here would be the ones who write you the reference when you go to apply for your job. That's what you do. Okay, risk of losing funding. Okay, what do you have to do to keep up your funding? Number 1, GPA. Number 2. Okay, that's a part of it. Number 3. Hey, don't you have to show up? So what kind of work ethic do you need? Exactly. You need to show everybody you want to be there, you love to be there, and you're going to do your best when you're there. Okay? Plus, agency programming. Okay, what if your financial aid ends? What if your graduate assistantship is going to end? Most of us professors, I'll tell my students, my grant's ending next semester in the spring. I tell them this in the fall. So let me try to help you get something else while I'm writing another grant. We'll see, because if I can't transition to a new grant, then I make sure that I help them get something else with somebody else. Usually they get to stay with me, and usually I do pretty good with my funding. But sometimes that happens. Changing. Some of our faculty, we leave. And some of us take our grants with us. So unless you're going to go to the same university we go to, the money doesn't follow. Yes, sir?
So does the grant go to the department or does it go to the professor?
It depends. Some grants the professors have. Some grants go to the department and the university and college. Some grants professors can take with them. Some grants they have to stay so a new person takes over. It depends. But what's the key to all this? You need to know what it is. You don't want to wait till the end of the semester and say, oh man, I don't have no money for next semester. What am I going to do? Oh, I know. I'll take out a $30,000 loan and take care of it. Unsubsidized. Okay, budgeting. Budget basics. We're going to talk about budget basics, saving for a bad semester. And we're going to talk about investment and common mistakes. Okay? How much can you count on? What are your monthly expenses? How many of you, how much it costs you to live each month? How much? Average?
For me?
Yes.
For me, myself?
Yes.
Maybe like 800.
As far as bills and gas.
Everything. How much?
I think on average 2,500.
2,500? 2,500?
I'd say
I mean, rent is 1,000 by itself.
I'd say 4.
Whoa, okay, wait a minute. Okay.
as a student or as an average person.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me get it. Hey, 2,500 for a month for rent? Oh my God!
No, rent is 1,000. It's all
$1,000? You better have a workout room and a swimming pool. And, oh my God! Okay, well, wait a minute. That's not by yourself, right?
No.
Okay, you didn't say that. Now you didn't say that. You said $1,000.
Yeah, y'all lost it. I mean, how much is y'all?
Well, you know, when you tell me I need $1,000 to live, I go, man, that's almost as much as my mortgage, man.
$1,000?
Yes. So, but when you tell me there's 4 people, $250 a piece,
No.
cool.
But it's
All right. Wow, man.
other bills.
I lived in the barrios, man. I don't know. Okay, your question.
What you said, how much it costs a month to live? Are you talking about rent or rent and expenses?
Okay, when I say how much it costs a month, it's everything. And we're going to get to that. I'm going to show you how to figure this out, too. Because you need to be able to know to do this, okay? We're going to go over your percentages and so forth, zero-based budgeting. How many know what zero-based budgeting is? Huh? No debt. What does it mean? At the end, what does it mean?
It means that you count for every dollar. It either goes to like the savings or expenses.
Yes, and also at the end of your budgeting, it says what? Zero. That means you broke even. You hopefully be in the black, okay? Which means that you have extra money to do stuff. And that's why you don't go on vacations, you go on what? Again? All right, okay. Now we're getting there. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use this. And the only reason I put this in here is because it's really helpful, okay? This is online. Now watch what happens. Come on. Okay. And then how do I get this thing over here? I think I get it. Let me see here. Let me see. Did it come up on here? No, it didn't come up on here, did it? Let me see if I can do this. There it goes. Okay. When you go online, this little thing here, it does everything for you. All you got to do is put numbers in. Are you ready? Look. Step one, and you all have the sheets in front of you, so grab your sheet out. Okay, step one, what does it say? Right, so you put in how much you're getting for each one. Scholarships, teaching assistantships, off campus. You could do this on your own at home. This is why I give it to you. Like for instance, I could put in here what, 700. And I could put in here research assistantship, 2,500. These are just imaginary numbers. I could put an off-campus job, none. Because you're already working with that, okay. But look what started happening. It started total it for you already. You see? This is just like accounting, only this does it for you. Okay, other family and loans. Okay, mine was 0. Okay, step 2. Here we go. Are you ready? Let me see. Let me get this down here. Okay, 0. Look. How much for rent? Okay, wait a minute. This was 1,000, right? You said? Yes, 1,000. Okay. $1,000, right? Utilities.
It's included. Cable is like.
You got cable?
Yeah.
Oh my God! See?
No, cable and Wi-Fi is like $220.
Oh my God! We didn't even know what cable was when I was my age. Okay, let's put utilities. Okay, let's put utilities 350. Okay, groceries. How much you think you eat? And I'm not talking eating out. I'm talking at home.
Maybe 150 every
150? Okay, we'll put that in.
Yeah, I just say 150.
Okay, child care. 0. Oh, you're thinking ahead.
The money coming back.
All right. So look, it already totaled it for me right here. Now watch what happens in step 3. Okay, I didn't put everything in there, but step 3. Books and supplies. Most places you'll spend anywhere from $500 to $1,500 a semester for books and supplies. Huh? Okay, I'm sorry. I was old school. My apologies. Okay, PDF. You can rent books now for $20, $30, right? Still?
I don't pay enough for books.
I don't pay enough for books.
Nothing? Okay, we'll leave that blank. Car registration. Okay, everybody up here? Car registration? No, you shouldn't have a car, man. You're too poor to have one.
What about gas?
Okay. No, well, see, if you get a car, what do you got to do? Car insurance, maintenance, gas. And if you live in Omaha, a garage to park your car in, because it's not gonna start in winter anyway, so you're gonna have to walk anyway. So what's the difference? Okay, so add all that together. That alone. Oh, and car payment. That alone, you can spend up to $1,500 a month, easy. Easy. Unless you get what? I had a VW Beetle back in my day, except I couldn't use it in the winter. It's the only car that started, but no heat, no air conditioning. You sweat it out. Believe it or not, in the old days, cars didn't have air conditioning. Oh my God. So anyway, and that VW, I bought it for $500 and I was paying $50 a month. But by the time I got insurance and everything else, okay. So, and then you have moving expenses. When I moved, I had 2 sacks of grocery bags, clothes, pots and pans, and my guitar. Okay? Lab and so forth. So what you do, here, vacation. I need to change this to what? Staycation. By the way, when I say staycation, that doesn't mean you can't visit your family. You just don't go anywhere where you have to spend money. All right, here we go. So then you add this together. Okay, let's go to step. Okay, now let's go to the next step here. Here we go. Okay, look at that. $1,800 I spent, and that was just me messing around. My balance, guess what? Negative. Yeah, because what ended up happening here, let me take this out of here so we can see this here. Here, let me get this out of here. Okay, how do I get to, here we go. Okay, and let me move this over here. Because you see, I did this on purpose, by the way. You know why? Because look, this thing will tell you, take note, your expenses are higher than your total available funding. Consider reducing your monthly annual expenses or obtaining additional funding so that you may meet your personal and educational related expenses. This application will tell you when you're over, and it will tell you when you're overspent, and it'll show you where it's at.
How do you know you went over? Never mind. I saw the question in step 1.
Yeah, because remember, I had step 1. Okay, when I put my scholarships and money I received. Okay, and then step 2, I did all my mortgage, my rent and my car and all that. Step 3, things I would have to buy for school, my books and so forth, insurance. And guess what? The money I started out with was not enough. So this thing tells me what?
Get more stuff.
So I got to go back, either fix it, get more money, or readjust. And this is even with a staycation. Does that make sense? Okay, well, I'm going to keep going here. You got to save for a rainy day. You know what that means?
Yeah.
You need to set aside some money because you never know when an emergency happens. Okay? An emergency happens is when what? What's an emergency?
Life happens.
Life happens. Life happens. Okay, so when life happens, you should be able, like if you're getting $7,500, a semester, you should be able to save at least a third of that. At least a third of that. And you say, what? Yes. When you go to movies, where do you go? I go to the dollar movies on Wednesdays where I live, and I work. Okay. Or I get coupons, or I go to Hulu. Hulu. And you know how I do that? I go to the library because they got free Wi-Fi at the library, so I watch my movies in there with popcorn. Well, you can take food to the library now, so it's okay. And so you save for those emergencies. What if you get a car accident? You better pray. If you have a car accident, you better pray that you have uninsured motorist insurance for the other person. Okay, because that's what's going to help you. Okay, when these things happen. Okay, you can lose your stipend, unplanned expenses. You must save. Okay, here we go. For a bad semester, you got to take care, and you have to make sure. Because in my case, my mother and father couldn't come save me. I had to save myself. But they helped me. And they gave me the greatest gift of all. They gave me endurance, motivation, a high tolerance for psychological pain, and pride. And when I say psychological pain, how many of you have sat in class and you're studying for an exam after class and had to cry because you're thinking, oh my God, this is so hard? How many? Now be honest. Okay. That is psychological pain. So we study to make that go away. Okay. Oh man, something happened here. Again. Oh well.
Doesn't like us.
Okay, so what's the moral of the story? What's the moral of the story?
Save more than you spend.
Okay. Are you going to go on vacation or?
Staycation.
Vacation or?
Staycation.
Okay. Do you need a car?
Not
Okay, let me try this. Do you need a car?
No.
Not really. Not really. Do you want a car?
Yes.
That could be. Okay. But if you want a car, what do you got to think about?
Expenses.
Expenses for that car. Exactly. Okay. What about if you get a fellowship? What happens?
Money.
And what do you want to make sure with that fellowship?
It covers your education.
It covers your education, and for how long, right? Okay. Teaching assistantship. What do you need to know?
Your responsibilities.
Your responsibilities and? Okay. What do you need to keep your grants and scholarship? What's the most? Okay, let's go first. GPA? Work ethic? Show up. Well, that's part of work ethic. And most of all, graduate school is tough. But you know what? If you do these kind of things and you take care of yourself, we as professors will also help you too. You'll be successful. And then when you get to be our level, guess what you do? What do you do?
Help others.
Yeah, you pay it forward. My wife and I donate to the school psychology program that she founded. We give money back. And you know why? Because a lot of people help us, so we help by donating money so they too can have the opportunities that we had, and we keep it going. Thank you very much.
Thank you.